And a very good morning. Your Majesty, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the International Conference on Blue Ocean Strategy. It gives me such great pleasure to be able to engage with such a distinguished gathering from an array of countries. I'm so delighted that many leaders from a variety of fields share our belief that innovation and creativity are imperative for the progress of their nations and future development. Through history, society's greatest achievements and progress have been driven by innovation. This is no different today. Indeed, it is even more true given the powerful trio of forces the world is currently facing. First, a tumultuous global economic climate. Second, increased globalization, which presents new opportunities as well as new challenges. And third, the rapid pace of change in an era driven by information and communications technology. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot stand by while others embrace the new. We should be striving to be at the cutting edge ourselves. Leadership from both the public and private sectors will be necessary to navigate uncertain global developments and to ensure the fair distribution of the proceeds of growth and wealth. We will need to develop new talents, retain our brightest and our best, so that we are not just active participants in, but leaders of a knowledge-based, globally integrated economy. Ladies and gentlemen, in Malaysia, renewal and reinvention have sustained the vitality of our growth since independence in 1957. We made the shift from an agriculture-based economy to manufacturing as a means of import substitution in the 60s, and then to export-oriented industrialization in the 1970s. In the 1980s, faced with an economic slowdown, we moved from state-led industrialization to the promotion of private investment in a broad range of sectors. Measures we introduced in the late 2000s allowed us to weather the Great Recession. But more recently, we have been able to face the global economic downturn with a sharp fall in the price of oil because of sound monetary and fiscal policies put in place by the government. We diversified our economy. We widened the tax base by introducing a goods and services tax, and we rationalized or removed subsidies. These moves were not always popular, but they were necessary, and they have strengthened the resilience of the economy at a time when we have needed it most. However, we have had to recognize that an export-oriented, low-cost manufacturing model alone cannot sustain us in our efforts to break out of middle-income status. From the beginning of my time as Prime Minister, I realized that this was going to be Malaysia's biggest challenge, ensuring that the country did not get caught in a so-called middle-income trap into which we were heading. I realized, and we realized together, that there must be a clear break from past policies. Now there are some who appear to be in denial about this. Some who, out of stubbornness and belief that only they can be right, prefer to run Malaysia's economy down because they do not want to acknowledge the success that change has brought. Some who pretended to believe that government revenue had a wide enough tax base without GST, but it didn't. That's why as a responsible government, we had to introduce it because it was the right thing to do for the country. Some still say that we should go ahead with vanity infrastructure and continuously pour money into loss-making industries out of stubborn pride. But this creates no sustainable wealth for the people, and products must find a market if they are not to be drained on national resources. If we had continued with old policies, we would have found the government and the country swimming in an ocean of red. We knew we had instead to make a paradigm shift and create a new economic model, one driven by knowledge, creativity and innovation, a blue ocean of new opportunities. This is what we want for Malaysia, and it is the plan I had for Malaysia in 2009 upon taking office. This is what our National Transformation Program, or NTP, introduced in 2010 aims to set in motion. Our new economic model is of a Malaysia that is more competitive, productive and investor-friendly. And the NTP is driving this through the Economic Transformation Program, which worked towards Malaysia reaching high income status by 2020, and through the Government Transformation Program, whose emphasis is on improving delivery and ensuring we put the people's needs first. Yes, Malaysia and other countries face many challenges, but these also present opportunities. If we give creativity and innovation the attention they rightfully deserve. And to do that, we must move towards a national development strategy that is driven by creativity, driven by innovation, and a key tool to aid us in our National Transformation Program is our National Blue Ocean Strategy, or NBOS, which we introduced in 2009. Under this, we have seen many initiatives, numerous initiatives undertaken by the public sector. Initiatives which succeeded in tearing down silos, allowing creativity and innovation to rise and take center stage in order to deliver superior services with real and improved results, to maximize outcomes and to enhance the value of our resources. Instead of just looking at how organizations can do what they're already doing better, we are encouraging out-of-the-box thinking. What brings the highest impact to the people in an efficient and sustainable manner. We are honored to have the two founders of the Blue Ocean Strategy here with us today. I'd like to recognize Professor Chan Kim and Professor Rennie Morborn. Later this morning, they will explain to us the concept in greater detail. But what I can tell you now is the effect NBOS has had here in Malaysia and for the people of Malaysia. And I'm proud to say that in the 7 years since its implementation, as mentioned by the Chief Secretary, more than 80 government ministries and agencies have joined forces to create high-impact solutions to address current needs. Many NBOS initiatives are radically transforming the way in which we deliver government services. One great example is the Urban Transformation Center, or UTCs, one-stop centers in cities all across Malaysia. They provide a wide range of services provided by both federal, state governments and agencies under a single roof from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week. Existing underutilized buildings were swiftly renovated and modified. We didn't take the traditional approach of building or constructing a new building. at the lowest possible cost. We did it without compromising quality. We provided a new and essential service for the people, and we saved money. In fact, by not constructing from scratch, we saved 100 million for every UTC. Since there are 15 UTCs across the country, that means this approach saved us 1.5 billion ringgit. And we got them running pretty quickly. The first center was ready in just 6 weeks. It took less than 2 months from the presentation of the initial idea to people being able to renew their passports, pay their utility bills, and enjoy other government services. They have proved to be incredibly popular. In fact, between June 2012 and July 2016, there have been 35.3 million users to our UTCs. Just as importantly, UTCs have transformed the working practices of the government to make sure that we deliver services in as convenient a manner as possible. They are located where people need them the most, and they open late in the evenings as well as during the weekends. To ensure that these advantages are available to all, they are matched outside of our cities by rural transformation centers. And for the remote parts of our country, mobile community transformation centers. Another example of the efficiencies and more effective use of our resources inspired by NBOS concerns our police and armed forces. To maximize the personnel available for street patrols, we took a blue ocean approach. We moved over 7,400 police officers from behind their desks and onto the front line of security on our streets. By repositioning, instead of hiring and training and paying that number of new officers, we saved 1.3 billion ringgit we would otherwise have had to spend, while the office duties were filled by civil servants from other departments where streamlining needed to be done. Through NBOS, our police and armed forces are also now working ever more closely together. On the streets of Malaysia, you can see our police and our military side by side, offering both protection and reassurance to the public, and the increased joint training and collaboration has been of significant benefit for the safety of our nation. Police-military collaboration has also been extended to the sharing of training facilities, resulting in a saving of around 700 million ringgit from not having to build new police training centers. Here again, we see national blue ocean strategy principles of high cost, or rather high impact, low cost and rapid execution in action. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a firm believer in the fact that an inclusive society is a strong society. Here in Malaysia, we are proud of our strong record in promoting the role of women in both the economy and society more widely. That is why empowering women has been one of the key themes of NBOS and our government. Our Perwani initiative is designed to give women access to greater economic opportunities and a more influential voice in community decision-making. There are now 12,881 Perwani groups operating across the country, with 169,105 women participating. Through these groups, women are given support to form cooperative, launch entrepreneurial ventures, and develop the skills through tailored training, enabling them to be full participants and leaders in building and strengthening their communities. To improve the living standards of those on low incomes, another NBOS program, My Beautiful Neighborhood, brings community volunteers together with ministries to renovate, upgrade low-cost housing communities and to rebuild homes that have been lost to fire. Through this initiative, almost 39,000 homes have been upgraded, benefiting more than 165,000 people. Another example of volunteering, helping people who want to give something back to the communities is One Malaysia for Youth, or more popularly known as IM4U. Only a few years after being established, IM4U has become the largest youth volunteering organization in Southeast Asia, with more than 2 million members. I've seen these young, public-spirited people bringing relief to communities hit by floods, mentoring their peers, and restoring many of our places of natural beauty through clean-up campaigns. It is inspirational, and I truly commend them for their hard work and enthusiasm. We're also taking steps to give everyone the opportunity to earn more by learning the skills they need to get better jobs. For example, under our new revised National Service Program, almost 20,000 young people are receiving free vocational and military training up to 36 months. Through this, the military is strengthening our national security and giving our young people a strong start in life at the same time. The program has proven to be so popular that it was 3 times oversubscribed for this year. Another example of how NBOS programs are both socially beneficial and efficient is our Community Rehabilitation Program, or CRP, a joint initiative between the Malaysian Armed Forces, the Prison Development, and the Ministry of Agriculture. CRP works to rehabilitate petty criminals by training them to work on military premises, helping to reduce both recidivism and congestion in prisons. Inmates gain vocational and agricultural training, which will raise their income in the future, while support is also provided to the inmates after being released. As much as the camp maintenance is carried out by inmates under this program, the collaboration has the further benefit of reducing the operating costs for prisons for petty criminals by 58%. Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to private sector, the government understands that a culture of innovation has to be nurtured. We know that businesses are a key source of new discoveries, new products, new ideas, and the new job that we need to reach out our goal to become a high-income nation. And we're doing all we can to create an environment that encourages innovation to thrive. The setting up of the Malaysian Global Innovation and Creativity Center, or MAGIC, that President Obama and I launched in 2014, was a key milestone in contributing to an environment that spurs entrepreneurship through training, providing links to research and funding, and making advanced technologies available. I follow its progress closely, and I'm delighted to say that 14,000 new startups have already been established with MAGIC's support. Some of them have already staked a presence in the ASEAN region and some globally. Similarly, schemes such as One Malaysia Blue Ocean Entrepreneurs aim to equip a critical mass of budding entrepreneurs with a blue ocean mindset so that they're able to inject creativity and innovation into their business ideas. There are many more initiatives, such as our strategic linkages program between urban centers and rural areas, that now works with more than 6,500 entrepreneurs who are collaborating across 200 high-value agriculture projects. To give just one example of this initiative impact, let me tell you about a lady named Siti Hajah binti Husnan. She is an entrepreneur from Johor who produces ready-made food paste. Her income has doubled from 2,000 to 4,000 a month thanks to the access to new markets made possible by the program. She now even exports her product to Singapore and Jordan. We are delighted to support her creativity and innovation, along with many, many more like her. Ladies and gentlemen, all of these initiatives supported in the long term by our emphasis on education. We are working hard to help raise student attainment and aspirations and to transform technical and vocational education so it is aligned to the demands of the new global economy. Just last week, for instance, I was at the launch of My Digital Maker initiative, which promotes digital skills amongst our youth. It was hosted by Malaysian Digital Economy Corp, or MDEC, another of our initiatives, and I also announced that computational thinking will be taught in primary schools and computer science in secondary schools as of next year. Ladies and gentlemen, I have outlined many of our blue ocean inspired strategies, and you can hear the results. High impact, low cost, rapid execution, social inclusion, encouragement and support for innovation and the new mindsets and skills that Malaysia will require to thrive and for our progress to be sustainable. Blue ocean strategies are not just for developing countries. It is not for us or for any others to interfere with the domestic affairs of countries whose governments have the mandates of the people or to tell them what model to follow. But blue ocean strategies can be formulated and implemented in any state that wishes to create high impacts, not just on what we call the capital economy, and we define capital economy as GDP growth, big business, large investment projects, financial markets, and the like, but also for the people economy. By that I mean what matters most to the people, to the ordinary person: jobs, small businesses, the cost of living, lifelong learning, family well-being, social inclusion, and harmony. And issues such as crime, traffic pollution, work-life balance, in short, the things that determine public happiness. Setting up all these programs here has required a huge transformation, but it is the transformation we need for Malaysia to escape from the middle income trap. We are on course with gross national income up by nearly 50%, and 1.8 million jobs have been created since the NTP began. Even in these times of economic uncertainty, our growth rates remain healthy and far above the global average. The World Bank and the IMF have consistently praised our approach, and we have enviably high positions in numerous global rankings for ease of doing business, regulation, and competitiveness. But the transformation we need will see us forge a high-income nation that hits not just GDP per capita target, but also the target of including all our people, empowering them, and building a future for them that is sustainable and resilient. We want the future to be one in which our children and their children see no goal they cannot reach, but also know that they have the tools and the right support on their journeys, and that they belong to a community and a country in which no Malaysian is left behind. A successful Malaysia, yes, but also happy Malaysians with challenging and meaningful jobs, a sense of fraternity, and the knowledge that both reward and responsibility come from uniting us as a harmonious and increasingly prosperous society. That has been my defining challenge since becoming Prime Minister. Together, I know that we can meet that challenge, achieve our goals, and set Malaysia on a confident course for the rest of the 21st century. Ladies and gentlemen, I have shared some thoughts with you about our transformation over the past few years. I'm sure with a wealth of ideas will emerge out of your discussions at this conference. And I look forward to hearing about and learning from your experiences. I hope you will have a fruitful, enjoyable stay here. And for those of you who are first-time visitors, we hope to welcome you back before long. I wish you all every success in your debates, your talks, and with that, and thanking everyone responsible for this conference, it gives me great pleasure to declare the inaugural International Conference on Blue Ocean Strategy open. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.